In this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step 8-week plan so you can walk away from this video in 60 days from now, be a consistently profitable trader, making thousands every single month. And this is coming from someone who's traded for over 7 years, has been full-time for the last 3 years, and has now mentored over 400 students in just the past year and a half and helped them become consistently profitable in just 8 weeks. The best part is this 8-week plan works even if you don't have time to trade because of your job, and it doesn't involve you taking any random alerts from gurus out there on the internet. I'm going to teach you how to trade for yourself, so even after 8 weeks from now, you can scale your account and start making over $10,000 per month. This is the exact outline that a lot of my students have used who are now hitting over $10,000 a month simply from the same 8-week plan. So get your notepad out and let's dive in. Now, there are 3 different obstacles you need to overcome to go from a losing trader to a break-even trader and then to a profitable trader. And once you get to this profitable stage, you'll be able to trade for just an hour a day, making thousands every single week like clockwork. This 8-week plan is going to break down each of the 3 different obstacles so you can overcome them and not have to worry about them ever again. The first obstacle, which is going to take part in the first 2 weeks of this 8-week plan, is going to be the strategy. Now, week 1 and week 2 is all going to be about learning the strategy and making sure that you have an actual edge in the market. Having an edge is so crucial because if you do not have one, I can guarantee you will not be profitable in the long run. And for myself, I spent over a year backtesting my entire edge and learning it, making sure it actually works before diving into trading it and having my actual strategy. Now, the main part of actually finding your own edge is 2 pieces. The first one is going to be education, and the second one is going to be self-awareness. Now, education is really obvious. I'm going to touch on that in a second, but the self-awareness part is also really important that a lot of new traders overlook. And self-awareness at the end of the day just means learning your style. Are you better as a swing trader? Are you better as a day trader? Are you more of a scalper? Do you want to take 10 trades a day? Are you better taking 1 setup a day? These are all really important factors that you have to figure out on your own to see which kind of trading strategy fits with your style. And honestly, the best way to do all of this is by testing a bunch of different strategies and see what works best for you. Now, I'm not going to go over every single strategy in the book in this video, but what I am going to do for you is to give you a resource that you can use for yourself to learn and test a bunch of different strategies. And all of that is going to be inside of the Vault, which is my free community that now has over 6,000 students, and it has over 5 different trading strategies in there you can learn for yourself and help figure out what strategy and what style fits you the best. We have everything from supply to demand to market structure to support resistance to options trading, and you can learn all of it and figure out within just 1 to 2 weeks what makes sense for you. And so for the first 2 weeks of this plan, what I want you to do is go to the link in the description, join the Vault completely free, and go through some of the courses in there so you can learn for yourself and figure out what makes sense to you. Some people go in there and click right away with supply and demand. Others take 1 or 2 weeks to figure out they're more of a swing trader or more of a futures trader, and they like smart money concepts. The good news is everything is in there, so you can go ahead and learn for yourself, and by the end of 2 weeks, you'll have a really good idea of what strategy makes sense to you, and also have a very clear plan on what it takes for you to enter and exit a trade using your own system. Now, the next part of this 8-week plan is going to be week 3, and this is its own week by itself. And this week is all going to be about risk management and account setup. Because after you've figured out what strategy you want to trade and what style fits you the best, you now want to set up a risk management plan to trade that strategy. Now, as a general rule of thumb, I recommend risking no more than 1 to 2% of your account per trade. And if you have a smaller account, you can typically get that up to about 5% of your account per trade. So if you have a small account with about $1,000 in it, I wouldn't recommend losing more than $50 on a single trade. That should be your max risk on every single trade. Now, if you're anything like me who struggled with risk management for such a long time, what I've done is actually put together a free risk management calculator that you can use to figure out and understand your exact risk on every single trade. And this is going to work on both options, stocks, and futures. No matter what you're trading, you're going to be able to use this calculator to make sure you don't risk more than that 1 to 2% of your account rule. And I've put that risk management tool inside of the Vault as well, again, completely free. So you can go ahead and use that and build out your own risk management plan and write down exactly how much you should be risking on each trade and how many shares, how many options, how many futures contracts you should be taking per trade to figure that out. You should also take the time to figure out how much you want to fund your account with and also which broker to use, which again, we have all the resources and tools inside the Vault for you to help that if you don't really have that figured out yet. Now, after these first 3 weeks, you should already have a good idea of your risk management, of your strategy, and also your entire account should be set up by now and you should be ready to trade. Now at this point in time, you should have the two obstacles already covered, which are going to be strategy and risk management, which means there's only going to be one more obstacle left to cover in this entire 8-week plan for you to become consistently profitable. And this is where the next 2 weeks of this 8-week plan comes into play. And this entire 2-week period should be focused on psychology and actually starting to trade your account. Now, the biggest thing with psychology and with these 2 weeks that you should focus on is having confidence in your system. Because the biggest problem I see with new traders is that they lack conviction in their system. And this leads to a whole bunch of issues. They start stopping out way too early, or maybe they don't stop out at all, or they add to their position, or they just drift away from trading their edge in the first place. And so the biggest tip I can give when you start trading these first 2 weeks is to actually take profit a little bit earlier. And yes, this is going to mean you have a lower risk reward and you may not be following your actual edge in the beginning, but I recommend doing this for one reason. In the beginning, if you are able to take profits a little bit quicker, you're going to get a lot more gains, and that is going to help your confidence a ton. When you stack up a bunch of small wins, your confidence goes up like crazy, you're going to get a lot of conviction, and then after a week or two, once you have a lot of confidence, you'll be able to go back to your normal edge and let your winners run a little bit more. I'm not saying you should totally change your strategy at this point, but what I am saying is that if you can take profit just a little bit earlier, give yourself that conviction, lock in a lot more gains, have a higher win percentage, and sacrifice your risk reward just by a little bit, that is going to allow you to get so much conviction by after 1 or 2 weeks, you'll have a lot of wins under your belt, and then you'll be able to see a lot more conviction and confidence in your strategy, and you won't get any of those psychological issues that most people tend to have. Now, another huge tip you can do when trading in these first 2 weeks is learning OCO orders. This is another thing that's helped me out a ton when it comes to psychology because it basically gets rid of all your emotions. An OCO order stands for one cancel the other. It's a type of order that works on most brokers, and it basically means you can get in, set your stop loss, set your target, and then walk away from the trade and let it play out. And this is great because you really don't even need to watch the charts while you're in the trade. You can simply get in, set your stop loss, your target, let the trade do what it should. You can let your strategy and let your edge actually play out. And over time, you can simply come back and see if you made money or not. And this is something I've used to help me out with emotions like crazy because I simply get in. I don't even look at the charts. I don't even know what's going on. I can walk away, get all my time, get all my freedom back. And then that way I have no emotions. It doesn't matter if I have a job, I can do that throughout the day, and I can come back and see if I made money with my edge. Now, there's going to be 2 other things you should be doing throughout this 2-week stage of this 8-week plan. The first one is going to be having a morning plan that you create for yourself. And this could be something as a simple morning routine, something where you go and check your watch list every morning, you figure out what stocks you want to trade. Maybe you talk inside the Vault community and see what other people are watching. Create yourself a system or a plan that is a routine that you can wake up every single day and have a good sense of what to do so you're not straggling in the morning and figuring out last minute how you should be trading for the day. And the second thing you should be doing while you're trading live is also journaling all of your trades. Now, the good news is I have a free journal inside of the Vault as well. It's going to be in the dashboard area once you join, and that's going to allow you to actually see for yourself and journal all your trades every single time you take a trade so you know exactly what you can fix going forward. And that's going to bring me into the final 2 weeks of this 8-week plan, which is going to be week 6 to week 8. And week 6 to week 8 is what I'm going to call reflection and scaling. And so there's going to be 2 main points you want to cover within these next 2 weeks of this 8-week plan. Because so far, we've already covered the 3 obstacles in the first 6 weeks. Number 1 being strategy, number 2 being risk management, and number 3 being psychology and emotions. In week 6 to week 8, you really want to focus on journaling and actually figuring out your mistakes. And again, self-awareness, understanding why you are losing money and what you can do to fix it. Because if you're using your journal properly, you're going to be able to look back at all your trades and understand exactly what happened in every single scenario. You're going to be able to see the mistakes you made and come up with ways to fix them, or you're going to see if your strategy or edge even works in the first place. And obviously, if it doesn't work, you're going to want to go ahead and find yourself a new edge. But if it does work and you are making money, then great, you're going to want to move on to step 2. And if you do have mistakes in your journal you've made and maybe you don't know how to overcome them, the good news is if you're inside the Vault, you can simply ask in the community, and there's going to be 6,000 other traders who are there to help you out who have probably made the same mistakes as you. So you're going to use this time as a reflection point so you can figure out and look back in your journal, look back in the community, and see what you can do to help fix your own trading for yourself. Now, the other part of this 8-week plan is at this point you should be profitable, you should be making money, you should have figured out all your mistakes, and now if you're profitable, you had 3 to 4 weeks of consistent money, you want to go ahead and start to scale. And this is when you're going to set up a scaling plan. And there are a bunch of different ways you can set up a scaling plan. The quick way that I like to do it is simply withdrawing my gains every single week, but also leaving some of the profits in the account so I can compound over time. This way, it allows me to not only make money every single week as long as I'm profitable, but also compound the account so the account grows week over week. I get both benefits of having the discipline of not scaling up too fast by taking profits every single week, but also leaving money in the account to grow and grow over time so I can eventually scale my account and start making a lot more money. And by the end of this 8-week plan, you have finally overcome every single obstacle there is when it comes to trading. You have figured out a strategy that you can trade, you have figured out a good risk management to trade with it, and you have also figured out how to overcome your psychology and use it to your advantage. And at this point, if you are profitable and you are having consistent green weeks, you can really start to scale, set you up on a scaling plan so you can start making a lot more money. And I know a lot of traders, even from my own mentorship, that have become full-time simply by doing this exact plan. The best part about all of this is if you're watching this video, you have access to the vault, which basically answers and helps overcome every single obstacle I've talked about in this video. So if you have not yet and you stuck until the end, I would highly recommend clicking the first link in the description and joining the vault completely free so you can help start this 8-week plan and actually make money. So 60 days from now, you can make thousands of dollars and be extremely happy that you made this decision. Because we've already had 6,000 people join, and a lot of them are very happy and already started making thousands of dollars every single week simply using the same exact plan. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Go ahead and leave a like and comment below other videos I should make. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.